Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworms, buddy. Today I want to do a review for you. I'm going to be reviewing Amy and Roger's epic Detour. This book was for a Pick 5 challenge that I was doing with Shannon over at Leaning Light. Shannon had picked me 5 books and I picked 5 for her. And Amy and Roger's epic Detour happened to be one of those books. I know I waited way to the end of the year to get going on this Pick 5 challenge, but I just finally decided I'm going to go to the library. I'm not going to go out and buy all these books because what if I don't like them and this and that. So I went to the library and found it, or I actually requested it from another library and they sent it in. And I loved it. I loved this book. I was really thinking, oh, okay, you know, it's got good reviews, but, you know, they're on a road trip, these two young kids, and, you know, they're teenagers, and, you know, what's going to be exciting about this book? What I loved about this book was, one, the pureness of it. There's no insta-love. There's no triangles. It's just a couple of kids trying to make it through life and trying to accomplish this task of getting this car to where it was supposed to be. Amy had suffered a loss of her father, and she felt guilty about it, and she had issues with that. That's what her life was revolving around. And I related to her so well that, I mean, it surprised me, because her life is kind of how my life felt when I was younger. And I just loved how I related to her. And their relationship between, you know, Amy and Roger was not insta-love. It was something that they worked on without the intention of having a relationship. It's because they got to know each other, because they did not really know each other all that well. They knew of each other pretty much. And this trip just kind of, you know, was good for both of them, and that's what the story is about. I'm not going to say anything else about that, but the way that it was written made the story so realistic that I felt like I could have been her. And that really makes for a very good story. I was so engrossed in the story, and the characters were just created beautifully. They were just realistic and relatable, and I couldn't ask for anything else out of a young adult kind of romantic, contemporary kind of story, which I really don't read a lot of those. And that was another reason why I was a little leery about reading the book, and I really had no need to. Like I said, I related to her so well, and I just loved how the author wrote them being together in this story. Like I said, the purity of the story. You're not, you know, having to deal with all those, you know, normal things that happen in a lot of young adult, which is the insta-love and the triangles and all that stuff. I've just about had enough of that kind of stuff in young adult, which is why I don't read a whole lot of it. But it was really, really good, and like I said, relatable. And there were parts that, you know, struck home, you know, really hard. And I loved that part of the story. I'm kind of shocked by how I reacted to the story. I rated this book 5 stars. If you couldn't imagine that, you know, if you couldn't imagine that, I would rate it 5 stars, because I'm going all goo-goo over the book. But it was a fantastic read. I think it was very fluid and came together well. It was easy to follow. It wasn't a complex story. It was a simple story, and sometimes simple, you know, is good. But when you have characters that you can relate to, and characters that are believable and realistic, then you have a really good story. So if you've not read Amy and Roger's epic Detour, you really need to. This is the first time I read anything by Morgan Matson. And my first experience was fantastic. So I thank Shannon for picking this book for me, because otherwise I probably never would have picked it up to read it. So I'm thankful in that aspect as well. So thank you, Shannon, for that. But that is my review of Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. If you have read this book, or if you want to read this book, let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it, because I love to talk about books that I enjoy this much. So thanks guys for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.